Hi viewers, heartily welcome to our channel. Today the topic is a brief history of Apple Inc. Part 2. Because video it's going to very long, so I made this video dividing parts. We'll attach the other part video in the I box and description. Before that, if not subscribe our channel, please be subscribe. Okay, let's go to video. What was included in the initial computers? The initial computers that were created by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were simple. Only a few important features were the part of this system, but still, they managed to grab the attention of the users. Some of these features include a TV display system, the existence of bootstrap code on ROM, and the presence of a cassette interface. All the features meant lower design components used in the computer with the existence of better speed and performance as compared to a number of other devices available in the market. This computer was termed as Apple I and is the initial version of the computers that have been created under the Apple brand name. Struggle during the phase. Despite getting the initial 50 orders from Byte Store, it wasn't possible for both the partners to create their own vicinity or factory line where they could manufacture the computers. So one of the things that they did was borrowing the space from mutual friends, and selling a number of electronic and technology goods at varied rates. However, this was not a feasible model for the company to flourish. This is why Steve's tried to get loans from the bank for this purpose. Neither the banks nor the individual lenders were willing to provide funds for the project that no one was willing to use. You'll have to be in the shoes of the people of the 70s decade to relate to this point. There was no scope of using computers at a personal level at that time. Even the businesses weren't used to have computers. The conglomerates or the large organizations were the legitimized users of the computers. So investing in the creation of computers seemed absurd to the users. Entry and exit of Ronald Wayne. Initially, Ronald Wayne also became the partner of the company. It was the time when both the Steves, Wayne, and Mike Marculo were able to find a bank loan and signed it together. They were the initial days of the company, and its ups and downs in the company were the part of the routine. However, Wayne did not want to be a part of the company with high risk and left the business at quite an early stage. Such a setting left both the Steves to be the prominent and active partners of the venture. Apple II, once the formal company was established and it had enough money to manage the computers in a better way, Wayne wanted to introduce new features to the computers. These computers were named as Apple II. Most of the design features that Apple I had been due to the limited resources available with the owner. As soon the resources issues were settled, Wayne experimented the inclusion of new features that could offer better functionality. This was the time when the company made direct contact with the public. West Coast Computer Fair was chosen for this purpose, which was a two-day fair for highlighting the different types of computers. This fair came with huge success for the company because this was the place where a Japanese chemist got impressed with the design and features of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. He was the first authorized dealer of Apple II in Japan. What was included in Apple II? This features and history of Apple II are not much different from Apple I. There were slight modifications and improvements in the existing design. These changes made the computer a better version. Apart from the improved TV display, the computer could store the display for some time in memory. Moreover, graphics improved the overall visuals of the computers. Later, colors were also introduced in the same version to make it a lot better than the last version of the computers that the company produced. Role of Jerry Monok. The Apple II released in 1977 had great input from a designer known as Jerry Monok. He managed to create a compact form that was far easier to set up than the previous version. At this stage, Apple II was being recognized for the efforts that were being made in the industry. In fact, the release of Apple II has an important place in the history of Apple, as Apple II is known to be a key instigator in creating the home demand for the computers. Imagine if Apple II wouldn't have been there to ease up the settings and usage process of Apple II, we could have got the computers for our daily usage after waiting a lot more, so Apple actually deserves a bit of appreciation on this end too. Apple III. This version of Apple computers was released in 1980. It was by far the most sophisticated version and was intended for the business users. One of the design innovations that the managers and the creators of Apple III introduced was the removal of cooling fan from the hardware components. The main idea was that Apple computer would dissipate the amount of heat generated through chassis, but this did not work as planned. The removal of fan and no proper working of chassis for the removal of extra heat resulted in the creation of disintegration of the chips from the motherboard. There was a definite resentment in the people who were using this version of Apple computers. The people who were asking for the solutions to fix the problem were asked to lift up the computer 6 inches and then leave it. The purpose of such a rash treatment was to allow the integrated circuits to get back to the original position. If you are finding such a solution funny, it actually was. You wouldn't have seen it coming from one of the best companies in the IT sector today. The history of Apple contains a few such incidents that could actually provide you with the struggling stories that Apple had to face in order to reach the current level. To be continued. Watch this previous and continuation part in the iBox and description. Please like, comment and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.